Good day, sir. Uh, my name is Destiny, and we are Citizen Lifeguard Network. Sir, may I know your name?
My name is Pastor Samuel Okonla.
Oh, glad to hear from you, sir. Uh, like I said, we are an NGO, so today we're actually talking on child labor. You know, in Nigeria, Africa, the child labor is actually prominent in every country you go. So I would like to ask you, when it comes down to Nigeria, in this particular state that we are, or probably you have visited other states, each time you see children from age 5 to 15, or a child that like in Nigeria, for instance, the age of accountability is from 18 years upward. So below 18 downward, they are actually supposed not to be working. But whenever you see this kind of children on the streets, how do you normally feel about it? How do you feel about such situations, seeing children that are supposed to be in school hawking on the streets?
Well, let me start from the fact that I was once in that situation as a child. The first time was when I was living with my granny in Abeokuta. As at that time, my dad was schooling in Germany and my mother was working in Lagos. But each time I closed from school, I was made to hawk old newspaper to sell at the local market for my granny. And it went on until I left Abeokuta as a result of my dad coming back from Germany. And again, while living with my dad, even in Lagos, there was a time my dad was retrenched. He was then working with Net Limited, later became Nitel. So he was retrenched, and things was not really going smoothly with the family. So at first, I was made to start hawking what we call ice water, then in Oshodi. So it's actually, I will fill the bucket with water. They will now buy ice block. They will be using cup to measure it. Later, I graduated to measuring it inside a nylon. Later, the advent of pure water. So, but I did that because I was actually in a nursery primary school where they have to pay for my school fees. So I knew that I was part and parcel of the labor that contributed to the payment of my school fees and for the upkeep of the house. So I was not the only one doing it. Even a young guy that was a family friend's son that was living with us also was selling water like me also. Later we graduated from water to selling a nylon bag. So but if you ask me, I will tell you that children that are subjected to such things are being subjected to a lot of risk. For instance, you can imagine the environment of Oshodi Park, where such child could indirectly be introduced to smoking hard drugs or taking alcohol. If it's a girl, the girl could be forced to be raped, and I have even had encounter with losing money after selling, and I lost the money and I don't even know how to report it at home. So by the time I get home, I was beaten, thinking that probably I actually stole the money. So a lot of hazards are involved, and it also affected my studies, because the time I ought to be using to study, I was using it to hawk, which is not proper. So I want to say that no matter what the condition is, parents should not allow their children underage to be hawking or to be doing any form of labor. Let their children become of age, the age of accountability, so that at least it will be done within the law. You understand? It's just the same thing as some parents are giving out their children to be house helps at tender age. It's not right. Such children will not be treated right. Such children will never be treated right. Such children will never be treated right. So, and such children will miss a lot of things. For instance, the age I was working in Lagos then was the time I was working was the time I'm supposed to be either, if it is holiday time, I'm supposed to be doing some holiday prep. You know, there are so many things that students are expected to be doing. Like now, if you're on holiday, you learn many things like coding. You learn many things like robotic or AI, artificial intelligence. Things that are not within the normal curriculum, but will enhance the productivity of a child growing up. So such children should not be allowed, even if it is just gaming. Even gaming, just allow them to be playing game. Game play a lot of role in the intellect of a child. So subject the little time that a child has should not be used for child laboring. It's not right.
Thank you very much. I pick some things that you said. A situation whereby they are on the street hawking.
Yeah.
So they are vulnerable to
Rape,
drug abuse, probably lose money, kidnapping, and all sorts of vices that they will be exposed to.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, what do you have to tell parents that are actually sending their children on such labor?
I will say that it's even better for the parent, because what really happened in my own situation is my parents were not expecting what happened to them. And somebody that is already working in a cozy environment, they find it difficult to come and be doing certain things to survive. Such parents should think inward. They should look inward. They can decide to go farming, go to the hinterland. Most of them have villages where they can go and they can start something. It doesn't have to be that everybody must work in a white collar job. So you understand me. So sometimes God even allows certain things to happen to you because He wants you to change your level. So a lot of the great people that we see today, they are product of adversities. You understand? When things are not really working out, they now think out of the box and they begin to bring out some other alternative they can do. But you should not use your children as a way of escape. It's very dangerous because they are your future.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So what do you have to tell governments?
As for the government need to do a lot. Like the government should even learn from people like you and online bloggers. There are so many online people trying to help people they see on the streets. They help them, they ask them questions, why are you doing this? And you see them using their platform to raise funds for them to do something meaningful. So what the government is doing is counterproductive in the sense that they earmark a lot of money for this, for that, to empower people. But at the end of the day, such money doesn't get into the hands of the people that actually need it. It always gets into the hands of fellow politicians that will use the money just to satisfy their ego and interest. So, but they should try to go on the street. They should go on the street. In fact, they should disguise to go on the street. They will see a lot of needy on the street.
They're actually saying it because I believe that our leaders, our political leaders, our officers, they actually see these children on the streets. So if, for instance, in Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, I believe there are children like that. In Lagos State, in all the states in Nigeria. So let's talk about Nigeria.
Yeah.
So I believe these leaders, they are seeing these children. But the problem is that probably maybe they are doing the best they can do. Probably it's not getting to the right people, just like you said. Maybe the people that they are passing through to get to those people, maybe they are the people that are actually diverting the funds and the materials and everything.
The truth is that the number one problem we have in Nigeria is we don't have database. We don't have database of knowing who is who and who is doing what. In Nigeria, you find just an individual taking up the job of 10 people. Not that they are doing the work, but because they are positioned with the government, they will be the personal assistant to the governor. At the same time, they will have a slot in the state. They have a slot in their local government, and they themselves are the contractor under the government, and they have so many things that they are handling that is supposed to be given to somebody else. They will be the one sitting on it. So there is uneven distribution of wealth. You understand? Uneven distribution of wealth. And one way that the government can evenly distribute wealth is to do what they see developed nations do. As you are a citizen of this country, the moment you have attained the age of 18, whether you are still living with your parents or not, there are supposed to be something that comes from the government to you. Some basic allowances. For instance, I don't know if you know one musical group, they call them UB40. UB40 is a reggae musical outfit in England. Initially when they started, Nigeria was part of them. So the name UB40 actually means unemployment benefit £40. So what the government of England used to do there was anybody that is unemployed is given £40. So your parents cannot do everything for you, especially when you are of age. They will expect you to be working, and when the work is not coming, the government should be your father and your mother at that instance. So at least the present day Nigeria, every adult Nigeria that is of 18 and above should earn nothing less than 50,000 naira, whether you are working or not. At least, if for the person that is not working, should be given 50,000 naira, so that the person will not think of doing some vices. So that, because there are some people, when they are not working, they are creative people, but they need basic things. Some people are very creative. In fact, with 30,000, they can start up something like drawing. You know, it's work of creativity. So many creative things, but they need little tools, little things to get started. And they have gone to uncles that are not helping. They have gone to aunties that are not helping. But the government, if the government does that, they will realize that Nigeria is actually an haven of potentials. You understand? And by that time, they will see a lot of companies springing up naturally, because it is what the people that make America are the creative people. They are the creative people. So the government should look into that area to give unemployed benefits to citizens of at least 18 years and above. Because, to be honest, jobs are not all that available, but there are problems to be solved.
Yes.
And I tell you that if they empower their citizens, most of the problems will be solved. Because God has given everybody certain potentials. You understand? Some will create problems, some are created to solve the problem. But there is no way problem can be solved when you are still thinking of what to eat. Because with 50,000 naira, an average adult can still manage himself. Yoruba say, meaning that once hunger is out of poverty is already lessened. So if Nigerians are empowered to the point that they can feed themselves, you understand, they will think well and they will create a lot of great things, even to ease the burdens of the government.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for all what you have said. I believe that the viewer and the listener have heard what you have said, and I pray that even as our leader sees the video and the ones that other people are doing, they will make an amend in whatever they are doing. So do you know that your life is important? Yeah, say to yourself that my life is important.
My life is important.
And tell them that their life is important.
Your life is important.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Yes, sir.